Well, I just gotta say this. Marvel keeps flip-flopping, and some stuff I'm just not liking that much, and some stuff is surprising me. Let's talk about She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. What up, guys? Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers. And thanks for coming back for some more popcorns. Real quick, guys, if you haven't done so already, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the like button. So with Marvel being just sort of wishy-washy with their content right now, sort of biting off a little more than they can chew, in my opinion, and just kind of choosing quantity over quality, it sort of feels like a gamble these days when you're watching a new MCU project. Whereas like before Endgame, it was guaranteed you're gonna love it. And if you watch the channel, you know that I've talked about that, how they've just really kind of declined in quality. They used to make movies for people, for the masses that weren't just comic book fans, and now these movies are starting to be made kind of just for the comic book fans. And with the Disney Plus shows being added to this whole gamut, it's just cheapening the whole brand in my opinion. And I think a lot of people agree with me out there. Andrew and I had done a little trailer reaction about the She-Hulk trailer when it came out, and I think everybody agreed that it wasn't looking all that great, and the CGI was looking kind of bad. But I'll tell you what, I watched the first episode, I actually really had a good time with it. In fact, thus far, I think WandaVision, Miss Marvel, I know, that's crazy, and She-Hulk might be like the best 3 ones yet. Now, I know we're only 1 episode into She-Hulk, I'm just talking about the way it feels, but I will tell you, this felt kind of connected to the old school MCU, whereas a lot of these newer projects, it feels like they're moving forward and you're having to learn a lot of things. This one, it felt like you were in the old school stuff you love. So that could be partly why I really had fun with it. I just felt like that old feeling again. But I also thought it was just well done and entertaining. I have a couple of nitpicks with it, I'm not gonna lie. There are some things I would have changed or would have done differently. But as a whole, it's way better than I was expecting it to be, and the CGI does look better than the trailer showed. They do a really good job of showing how she becomes the She-Hulk pretty quickly into the episode. You're not really waiting around like, when is this gonna happen? And that part doesn't feel rushed. The part that feels rushed to me is that when she becomes She-Hulk, I would have expected her to have more of an emotional reaction, something like a freak out mode to where she's having a hard time dealing and handling with the fact that she's gonna be a Hulk-ish character now. Like, instead, she just kind of accepts it just easily and is like, okay, I'm a Hulk now, so how do I deal with this? And like, I just don't think that's the way it would go down. Not to say that Tatiana Maslany didn't do a good job, because she did a great job in this. She was awesome, especially when you see her as She-Hulk. It's really good, it works, but she works good as Jennifer Walters as well. Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, that's great too, and he's in this entire episode as Smart Hulk. You just have to see it. I'm not gonna give away too much. Like I said, I didn't mind them going fast with her becoming She-Hulk. It was just once she became She-Hulk, I would have expected and wanted a little bit more of this freak out time period to elapse instead of her just so quickly accepting it. But outside of that, I thought it was extremely entertaining. Had a really good time with it. It was lighthearted, but it wasn't lighthearted just to be stupid and try to be silly. It actually was lighthearted because Bruce Banner's trying to make this situation easy for Jennifer Walters as she's becoming She-Hulk. He's trying to sort of set her up at this like Hulk grotto that he's got for himself that him and Tony Stark built. And that's another thing. There's all these different like references to Tony Stark and Steve Rogers all throughout the episode, not just in conversation, which there's a lot of them, but also little Easter eggs here and there. Like, you just have to see it. I don't want to spoil it too much, but they'll show certain things. And it's clear that Bruce hasn't been able to move forward and get over Tony and Steve. But there's a ton of Easter eggs in here for sure. They're definitely trying to set up some major stuff coming in the future. And there's also some cool Easter eggs for like old school Hulk fans, like even for the Incredible Hulk show. If you were a fan of that original pilot episode of the Incredible Hulk from the 70s, you're gonna like this. You're gonna notice some true Easter eggs and some fan homage to that. And not only are they talking about Steve and Tony a lot throughout the film, but there's a lot of past humor that they refer to from the prior films that makes you laugh, and it ties in well to this. And be sure to stay tuned for a post-credit scene, because there is one at the end of episode 1, and it's good. So overall, with She-Hulk, I'm really happy and satisfied with this first episode. Who knows? It could go down a little bit in quality after this, but as a first episode, I was really happy and satisfied. It was a lot better than I was expecting it to be from the trailer. Well, that'll do it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can help us make it to the top. And as always, if life gives you lemons, make some hot, fresh